If you are attending this presentation, you are open to taking new ideas and actions on for a better and evolving truth. I'm James Coleman. This is Inner Peace Arts Unscripted. I'm a writer, speaker, coach on spirituality, personal development, and social change. You can check out my blog, innerpeacearts.wordpress.com, Facebook and Twitter at innerpeacearts1, and email me at innerpeacearts@protonmail.com. Today I'm going to start off just sharing some observations, and we'll see where it goes. I've realized that it's energy that really influences people less than words. I'm not saying words aren't important. They are vital. Words create imaginations, and that eventually gets you to feelings within the person that get attached to you, and then you get access to their production, just as they get access to yours when they touch you. But it's really this notion of energy that is really important, because whatever words you choose, there's always something behind them, and people are sensitive to that something behind. And that something behind is actually the totality of everything that you believe. And of course, the totality of everything that you believe is not completely conscious. You can't tell me everything that you believe, just like you can't tell me everything that you know. Yet, it is this energy that comes through in the words that is vital to influence. And I think it's the secret sauce. And then you say, okay, well, how do I teach that? How do I go about changing that energy? It's a belief by belief review. It is a filtering that you overlay by perspective change that comes from believing that something is true. And that's how it works. So is the process slow? Yes. Can the process be fast? Yes. It all depends. It all depends upon your internal structures and what causes emergent experience for you. And so I'm trying now to bring a more positive energy to my interactions, and also take and acknowledge the negativity and taking more responsibility for it. I know I've shared before on that, but it's really crucial, this addressing of the negativity and finding out what is the trigger situation and the trigger phrase, and then reworking those, reframing it so that you can have a different attitude about the situation. And these are things that you have to look at in your own life and see where things need to be improved. And it's not a witch hunt for these things, right? They will pop up. You address them as they come up. But that is really a really key thing to keep in mind, is this energy that you're bringing. And the energy is driven by your beliefs, and those beliefs come through whether you like it or not. And, so we've talked a little bit about this, your definitions of, especially what people are, money, career, how they all interplay, responsibilities, commitments that you've made to people, what's the strength of those commitments. And all of it, you're bringing this energy with you, and it's affecting people, and that influence over people is a big part of your personal power, right? And starting to see really what you can do with that personal power, and coming to a place where you are newly comfortable with what you have, and recognizing that it may not be what you thought it was. It really is what you can do. Who can you call? What can you make that affects people, right? And we think often the little we have, we too often, I think, belittle, because we are, think about this. Let's just assume that this is true. I can't verify it, but we'll just assume that's true, that there are billions of people, okay? And I think the last estimates are around, 7 billion. You are 1 in 7 billion. Breathe in, breathe out, right? And the impact that you can have over others is not minimal. I mean, you can have a lasting impact on your neighbor. Now, that lasting impact, it's usually easier to have a negative impact than a positive impact, right? So it's relatively simple to have a negative impact. All you have to do to have a negative impact on people is to drive 40 miles an hour in the fast lane, and you will have a negative impact on many, many people. So, but it's how do I have a positive impact so that the agenda that I have is being moved forward. That's really the key, and that's more about what we talk about when we think about personal power, right? So I'm tying it all together. Personal power is going to flow from this energy that comes from us, which is driven by our beliefs and the fact that the body expresses what we believe. It does. It comes through. And the impact that you're going to have is going to be, I believe, about the strength of that belief and the alignment of the energy. I know I've talked about alignment before, and it's how much inner conflict or how much logical conflicts are there with the belief. So even if you're not experiencing it as dissonance, it may come off as dissonance. You'll be like, what? I don't get it. Well, it's because there's two beliefs that are probably contrary to each other that you haven't quite balanced out. And all of this is workable and is part of, what I'm calling, inner peace arts and all that. But regardless of that, today we're just concentrating on this notion of the energy and beliefs and how they impact and empower the words. Word choice is important. Some people call it vibe, but I'm calling it the energy behind the words and the belief that's behind the words. And that's really what's going to impact others. And then understanding the transformations of how the words transform to imaginations in the other person, which transforms into feelings. And those feelings get attached to the generator of the words, and thus you gain access to that person and their resources. And the same happens to you, and this is all good. And this is how we make for change. So this is James Coleman, Inner Peace Arts Unscripted, coming to a new place where we're recognizing the possibility of personal power, growing the seeds that we have, and making them do what they can do more than we thought what they could do. Yevarechecha Adonai veish merecha, Yair Adonai panav elecha vichuneka. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. In distinction, thanks be to stream, in stream, by stream. Take care.